And back to lorries. Leyland here. Is that a Comet? Yes, Comet, there you go. ERF. Volvo Turbo 6. Leyland. It's come up from Shrewsbury. This Austin Mobile Library I saw at Astor Park last year. How cool is that? That would have made a nice race car transporter back in the day. Get a little car in there, a little 500cc type car, or motorbikes. That'd be a nice little motorcycle transporter. Next up, Morris, 1968. Albion. Wow. Nicely rope load on it. Atkinson. The badging tells us it's got the Gardner 150 diesel engine. A lovely jubbly. The Bedford OB. Wow, do British lorries get any better looking than that? I still can't decide if I prefer flat fronted or bonneted. But these bonneted old Bedfords are just wonderful, aren't they? 1952 O-Type. Purchased in 1966, has its origins as an ex-army truck. Gorgeous. Those indicators are not original. A few photos of the restoration there, as you can see, pretty comprehensive. Never underestimate the amount of space that restoring an old lorry takes. You need at least 3 times, 4 times the space just to accommodate all the bits once they've been removed from the chassis and still leave you room to work. Right, so we've got another 4D series and rival of the day, Bedford TK. Foden, complete with a couple of bogies off a railway carriage by the look of it. British Rail, makes sense. So that was the standard colours for British Railways in the 50s. The RFEC 14, and we've got a recovery truck based on an AEC. Hello. What's this? An AEC Matador. Most Matadors I've seen have been the flat-fronted versions, but this is something else. This is.
Yeah, right. Still on the road then? I'm married for 10 years. I was coming back from London 10 years ago. Now the gasket went. Yeah, I remember you broke down. The side of the road for a month. And I bought it back 3 days ago.
This looks super original. County Durham. Lady J. Wow.
The elbows. You go on the laptop at home, you go on the elbows. They're on there with it towing it, breaks down. So he was out learning on the bus and breaks it. This up to there. 1941.
We've got a Bedford, the S series, civilian, and a little Morris J-type van. Or it could be the JB. Well, a little. I say it's a van, it's actually a drop side, but most of these were vans. And the J-type had this side valve engine out of the Morris Oxford MO, and after a few years they brought out the JB, which looked virtually the same, but it had the B series engine in it. Very bonny. So if you're going to stay over at a vintage show, that's the way to do it. towed by this wonderful little scamel, Scooby-Doo. What a great rig that is. Let's see if we can get a proper look at the two of them together from around here. We just clamber over this bit of piping. That's the way to do it. What do we have here? Not one, but two of the old Leyland FGs. These are the very unusual shape of cab. These are both Austin badged. You can see the actual doors to get in and out, so the cab goes round the back. And the doors around there is to enable you to open the doors and get in and out without having a great deal of space down either side. Because if you had normal doors on the side of the cab, you'd need a certain amount of space alongside the vehicle for the doors to swing open. But this design, I mean, they're a bit on the tight side, but it enabled you to have opening doors. Obviously that's rear hinged, but that opened and it didn't go any further, or not much further than the side of the cab. So you could park this in very narrow alleyways and still get out. And that's what makes these pretty much unique, I think. But yeah, it's a little bit tight getting in and out, but lorry drivers back in the day were a bit harder than they are nowadays. They're just great. I used to play in one of these that had been abandoned not far from where I was growing up in the sort of late 70s, all smashed glass and everything inside. But I spent hours just sat in there pretending I was driving. I remember this O-type ambulance from years ago. I think this is probably wartime. It used to live not far from Knutsford. I remember it outside the garage. I used to work near Knutsford and pass this most days. It's great to see it still out and about. Appears to be a nice old John Deere tractor in the field over there. Let's see if we can get a closer look with the zoom. Wow, British steel, look at that. What a monster that is. Restoring that must have taken forever. Just the size of it. It's huge. What a beautiful job that's had. Rivals of the day, the Bedford TK and the Ford D series. The D series showing off its tilting cab, which the TK didn't have. Tucked away over here, we've got another Atkinson. Northern Ireland Trailers Limited. It's a bonny little truck. Well, not so little. Oh, time for something different now. We can't visit Smallwood without having a quick look around the period caravan and camping section. Just have a quick scoot around and see what gems there are over here. So we've got a Bedford CF based camper there, Dormobile I'm guessing. A Sherpa, the Leyland Sherpa. There's probably more Leyland Sherpa campers around than there are vans still left. A lovely Mercedes here, great tow car. Ooh, nice Triumph Vitesse here, a Portafold Caravan. I used to have one of these. These are great. There's another one. I remember staying over at Tatton Park Classic Car Show, one of these once, and they're a bit basic, but significantly better than the tent. I've done tents and they don't really agree with me, if I'm honest. A fantastic Triumph 2000 Mark 1. Another one on TR6 wheels, Steelies. They look fantastic. A Mustang. Mum and Dad's first caravan was a Mustang Palomino, a bit like that, very similar to that, but pale blue and white. The Bedford CF. Bay window. Another bay. Rover 3 litre, so this is a 6-cylinder car, not the V8. The grills were slightly different on the 6-cylinder P5s as opposed to the later P5B V8s, and the P5B had extra fog lamps under the headlamps. Yeah, there you go, Rover 3 litre. Bedford based Bambi, still see these for sale from time to time. A Regency. Caravans of all ages. A nice collection of bicycles, a BSA folding bike and a Hercules. Of course there are always plenty of tractors here. We've got a Fergie, got a Farmall, a little International. A quick scoot around some of the tractors. Ford, David Brown, Fordson Major, Nuffield 1060, Massey Ferguson. They're getting bigger and bigger as they get newer and newer. And what's this? I'm still none the wiser. Nope, no clues on there. Well, if you know what that is, let's have a look. Is this going to help out? Kluckner Humboldt Deutz. There we go. A Super Major. A Deutz. God, what's this Leviathan at the end here? A Baker 2550. Wow. That's a monster. One of my favourites here, the Diesel Field Marshal. Single cylinder, dub 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 dub. Massey Ferguson. I don't think I'll be able to go around all the tractors, but this just gives you a bit of an inkling as to what's here, and there is plenty of tractor content here. The Smallwood Vintage Rally 2022, Fordson Dexter there. Little grey Fergie. Another Farmall. Lots more Fords. Fordson Major. These lamps, which are optional on the Fordson Major, those are shared with the Ford E83W van and pickup of the 1950s. Very original Fergie there. These Fordson standards I do like. Hand start. Could be very tempted with one of those one day. International. These are quite something, these counties. Now, of course, we like anything that smells of diesel when the sun comes out, and here, this Alice Chalmers is a proper oily ragger. They don't come much more original than that. Look at that. Solid wheels. That will shake your teeth out if you ever went near a road. I wonder what stories this could tell. Seat comfort leaves a little bit to be desired. Fantastic. Oozing with oil on every corner. Importantly, no obvious cracks in the block. That's something you always have to look out for on tractors because they live outside, and often farmers wouldn't go to the expense of putting antifreeze in. They'd rely on draining the water out at the end of every day. Same with lorries, that was very much the same type of thing. But if you forgot, and it was wintry, and you froze overnight, you'd end up with a cracked block in the morning, which is not good news. Right, let's go and have a quick scoot up here. This is nice. I love the cab on that. More creature comforts with this one. Keep the rain off. Hello. It's a very pink looking Fergie here. Don't remember that being a factory offering. The Nuffield Universal 4. Massey Ferguson 35. A Monk Tools and another Deutz. Another oily ragger, which we approve, of course. Most of the tractors here have been restored, and very nicely too. But it's nice to see some of the oily ones that look like they've just been pulled out of a barn somewhere. The Foden Major with the extra lamps. David Brown, very smart little tractor. Foden Dexter. This is just a quick scoot round just to give you an idea of some of the tractors that are here today. It's a 3-day event, Friday yesterday, today and tomorrow Sunday. We're off somewhere else tomorrow, so we won't be back here. So I'm just going to have a quick scoot round as best I can and just see if we can cover pretty much everything that's here at the show today. Foden Major, is that the supplying dealer? Look at that. Supplied by Reginald Tildesley Limited, main Foden dealers, Willenhall, Shifnal and Welshpool. So it's not come very far. Great, that badge has survived. That's one of those rare Porsche tractors there, the Porsche Junior. A little David Brown, a Muir Hill. Intriguing. But I couldn't leave the tractor section without looking at the little gem that's on the end of the row here. Look at that. McCormick Deering Farmall. Proper early tractor. Wonder what year that is. I'm guessing teens maybe. Solid wheels on the front. Well, they've got a semblance of rubber riveted on. I'm guessing this is late teens, early 20s. International Harvester Company, Chicago, USA. What an amazing thing that is. Must have been such a revolution when these tractors started to come on stream, replacing the horse-drawn and steam equipment of the early 1900s. There's a magneto that provides the ignition and the spark. So, a bit like the distributor cap on a later vehicle, you've got the caps there, all the way up to the plugs up there. All nice and easy to get at. Firing order 1342, just like most 4-cylinder cars. Unlike my Anglia though, because that's 1243. One of the little idiosyncrasies of the side valve Fords. Anyway, that's the tractor section. A whirlwind guide and tour of the tractor section. So let's go and see what else is here. I need to go and find the others as well. I think we can see what these cars are going to be used for. Transit Mark 1 camper. Even these step-side transits of the late 1990s are getting a bit thin on the ground now. These hark back to the old steel-bodied pickup trucks of the 1950s, the 1000 weight E83Ws. They had a very similar shaped body on the back. Just back in those days it was made of steel and rotted for England, and this is sort of the 1990s incarnation of the old step-side light Ford of Great Britain pickup truck of the 1990s. Always plenty of goodies on sale.
Yeah, it's all good looks out alright, weather-wise and everything.
Got multiple Land Rovers, as you'd expect. A nice Series 1 there. 1948. First year of production, early one with the lights behind the grille. Defender, another Series 1, slightly later on with the lights not behind the grille. Oh, there's a big military display here, got a forward control Land Rover. Appropriate registration, got a little chap there. Taz. That's a nice triangle, I like that. It's probably worth all that just for the triangle. More goodies for sale on the floor. Mentioned the Austin K9s before. There was an Austin Loadstar, the BBC TV one back over there. This is a militarised, beefed up version, the Austin K9. I think this is a radio van body. Could be wrong. Often am. I always think they're a great looking little lorry they are. Little K9s and Loadstars. Another Jeep. Bedford RL. Another forward control Landy. Got a lightweight Land Rover here. And another Austin K9 with a radio body on the back. Very handsome machine, 1950s in date, that one. And here we have an Austin Champ. All good fun, another lightweight Defender. This is a Dodge, I forget which model it is, but obviously wartime Dodge. Whereas mine had a civilian style front end on it. These were very much the militarised, simpler layout at the front. A Dodge WC62. Very bonny indeed. This has the smaller of the side valve 6-cylinder engines. Vehicles everywhere you look. These forward control Landys are quite numerous here, and there's an interesting one. Not quite sure why, but this one looks different than the others. Vehicles everywhere you look. Some of the heavy metal here, Scamel Crusader. Look at these mighty machines. Something Russian. By gum. You wouldn't argue with that on a roundabout, would you? Got a feeling I may have seen this one years ago before it was repainted. At the other end of the scale. A little tug, complete with Pyrene type fire extinguisher. There you go, Pyrene. Not sure what that would have been used for, possibly towing like bomb trailers, that kind of thing. Little, large.
Oh, I Jim's got to get a picture here with the gun.
Yeah, private the window.
lorries are going around the parade ring now.
This whole weekend is the
Lovely little
restoration
ERF.
of these vehicles, because essentially they have come to the end of their working life, most of them, and then they fall into the hands of the preservation movement, and they get saved. And that is so wonderful, because the alternative, sadly, is that they don't get saved and they get weighed in. Lovely ERF there. Just look at the presentation on that. Local lorry, I would suspect. Very, very nice to see that here this afternoon. Fabulous outside broadcast BBC truck. Again, with the camera on top, that's the clue. That's what that was made for. And again, a great spectacle to see that here. Albion next. Leyland Clydesdale next, exporting in their thousands into the third world at the end of their life in the UK. The Clydesdale going into the West Indies by the thousand. Threepenny bit, Austin next. Our transit van. Foden, of course, such a name to conjure with around this area. Very much made. You're okay. It's still in its original condition as well without operating it from Macclesfield. That Gardner engine, just an astonishing engine. There's such quality in those engines. I mean, it really set Gardner up, didn't it? Yeah, it's very good. It's very economical. Nice to drive and all that sort of stuff. And in terms of carrying capacity, what is this lorry rated to carry? Today it's rated 7.5 ton. Carrying capacity about 4. When it's due, it's rated 9 ton capacity carrying 50. But today's legislation is 7.5. Well, I must say it is absolutely fabulously presented, and very great credit to you. Thank you very much for bringing it, sir. Now, Austin, of course, such a popular brand, all sorts of applications, but we have a very unusual vehicle here. Hello, sir. Now, what have we got here?
Got a 255 Austin Loadstar.
This would be the sort of thing we'd see outside broadcast halls, races, football matches, all that sort of thing. I mean, you saved its life, let's be honest about it.
It's the last real track unit left in it.
We used to cut them as and JCB diggers and all sorts of, yes, all sorts of things. I mean, they were everywhere in their time, weren't they?
Bomb-proof, really. Bomb-proof. 3.8 in it as well.
a display of cars we have got. So we're going to get these guys to park up now and we can talk to them and get a bit of a history of some of these vehicles. Some very splendid vehicles here this afternoon. Great to see such support. So if we can get my friend with the Rolls Royce, you were the first in, so come on. We'll talk about this glorious car because my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, extraordinary. It is a credit to you.
Oh, 22 years I've owned her. Yeah, lovely motor.
Fantastic. Well, great to see, and I must say it's beautifully turned out. Thank you, sir. Now, my goodness, where I come about what's gone into making this like this.
Ted holding the spray job for Phil. What he was
Display, ladies and gentlemen, lovely lot of cars there. Well done, you guys. Was I in the way then?
The dog jump.
The ultimate driving machine.
Close.